Who's ready, my friends? Today we break down what it takes to go from 181 here all the way up to 190. And we're going to cover everything that you need to know to be successful here, the teams, the guide, the gear, everything to help you continue to climb your way up here and be successful in the endless strawberry cake tower tray. Let's go, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. As always, if you got a question, if you got a comment along the way, let me know. I'd love to hear from you as always. And we'd love to see you in our community. Now, on top of that, thank you for your support. Let's go ahead and dig into it here because there's a couple key elements. One in particular that we do need to be aware of. All right, so in 180, a couple things. Let's go ahead and get into it here that you need to be aware of as you're moving along your way. First and foremost, as always, we do have these special conditions. Now, it can be great for free-to-play players like myself, the number one here. As we see, we get the boost to level 70 for cookie skill and level. However, a lot of this stuff's gonna be like level 90. You can take advantage of the Hall of Heroes, the Ancient, and all that stuff to boost everything here if you need, but you get that min cookie rated at 5-star. Now, Bond, Sugar Gnome, Laboratory Costume Sets, Guild Level, Guild Relics, Landmark, Statue of Heroic Radiance. Topping bonus effects don't matter from that perspective. So the gear does matter. We got a lot of guides here on the channel for you to kind of help navigate. We'll walk through some of those key pieces though regardless for you, so that you're aware. Here at 181, this is where we start to see some of the biggest pieces. Wind type damage up 250%. So really 181 all the way to 190 is all about your wind teams, my friends. Really important. We're going to give you a team to help you get through it. We did get some challenges. We'll talk about that here in a little bit though, so stay tuned for that. A couple things. Debuff, we got the 50% debuff, and you got Power of Apathy in this one in particular. Couple things when it comes to that Power of Apathy, like this one for 181. You do want to either do two things: use Mystic Flower, or you want to use Peach Blossom there. We can show that as well. And then we do get these different pieces where we can take advantage of these effects. Equip Legendary level 25 beast gets times 5, get that damage resist bypass at 80%. Very, very important. And as we go up, you'll continue to see things like this, 185. We do get some other stuff here. There we go. 4 wind cookies to get 70% attack speed. Here again, same thing on those effects. And then at 189, once again, you do get a plethora of different things. Here's that debuff and then 250, okay? So very, very important to be paying attention as you're going through those. Again, like I said, 185 was kind of tricky, so we'll show you another team for that. Regardless, though, let's go to 181. We'll talk about this piece. In terms of our team setup, you can use this right here, generally to get all the way through. In terms of PV here, though, what you're going to do in this case is you're going to flip in Mystic Flower. All right, there we go, to get by. And let's go ahead and take a look at the gear, though, just because that Power of Apathy there, and then you can move off this one back to PV. A couple things here in terms of our gear. You can be on attack, actually, if you want to, and resonant toppings, as we always like to say here, though, again, being on damage resist works. You can go on damage resist here. We got the steal more attack forward one that we can use as well. Additionally, here we got cooldown, attack and attack speed, and then here we got cooldown, defense, those kinds of pieces, cooldown, HP, and then additionally here attack and more attack and attack speed from that perspective, my friends. So very, very crucial in terms of how to think about this, how to orient your team here. Again, you can move over to damage resist. We got more damage resist on those pieces as well that you can manage from that perspective. So very, very crucial to be thinking about. All right, so next couple things here, though, we do want to take a look at that Mystic Flower there. All right, there we go. There you can use and leverage your team leader here from this perspective. Once again, when it comes to Holyberry, take a little bit of advantage of that. And then on our gear here, again, Mystic Flower, lots of cooldown, survivability, and heal from that perspective, okay? So let's go ahead. We're going to run through this here so that you can see. Now, again, if you don't exactly have Mystic Flower, you can take advantage here, though, of Peach Blossom as an alternative here. Keeping Holyberry in here, it's just going to help add some survivability to this team. We'll talk about some of these other swaps that you can do here right after we run through this one. All right, all right, all right. There we go, there we go. Perfect. Nice, my friends. Very, very nice. Look at that. All right. So again, you can swap in that peach blossom there if you'd like to. And then let's go to 185. Now, before we do, a couple things here on this one. Once again, in terms of those swaps, we go back to edit. We're going to go back over there so you can see our friend. Let's go PV. Now, a couple things. If you're looking for those skill elements, we can come into the skill elements, of course, and then go ahead and take a look at wind. Here you can see everything in this spot right there from that perspective, so that you can see exactly what it takes, and then move some of those things around. I really like Pastry Cookie in this one. Maybe you want to run a double with Kumio there instead of Hollyberry to get to that 4 slot there on this one. However, on 185, couple things. This one was a little bit more difficult. You can actually take it down by using this team instead. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to disregard the wind cookies in this case in order to be successful here. I did have to fully load out on these ones. Again, in terms of that gear though, we're on damage resist. Here we're on lots and lots of attack. Here we're on cooldown heal. Here we're on attack, and then here we're on lots and lots of attack. Okay. Now I recognize this this team might be a little bit difficult to put together. However, as a free-to-play player, was able to achieve all these things here because of our free-to-play player guides on how to get these cookies, which you can do as well, which helps. So great time to always like and subscribe for content like that and how to make it happen for yourself here. Now, very, very important. You might be able to do this without this team. So what I would recommend doing to make it happen here is just make sure that you have enough coverage up front in terms of splitting out what I call the front end here, and then go with 2 damage dealers, or you can try a double heal with 1 key damage healer there with Wind Archer as an example, and use something like Green Ferret to kind of split things up. Wanted to give you some other alternative ideas and teams, hopefully to be successful as you get by, because I know that 185 is a little tricky. Last but not least though, that leaves us with 190 here. We just dropped the guide for 190. You can check out the full-blown play and takedown of the giant sand jellyworm, my friends. We got everything that you need to know. However, just so that you're aware, this team will help you get by, and we'll leave it at that for you here today. So that is our guide to go from 181 all the way to 190. Be successful here. Take all these things down in one fell swoop, primarily one team, with some alternative kind of ideas, tips, tricks, and swaps here to make it happen for you so that you can continue along your way. And like I said, a more detailed guide on 190 for that giant sand jellyworm, my friends. So with that, thank you for tuning in. As always, if you do got a question, if you got a comment, let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server. On top of that, thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we grow this amazing community. And thank you to all of our members. We have those memberships available to you. Plus, on top of that, we got affiliate links, swag, and merch, all great, cool things that you can check out. And don't forget my socials, @MeChammy. Stay connected, my friends. All right, we're continuing to climb your endless strawberry cake tower along our way here. So stay tuned, my friends. And until next time, keep on running.